And action.
Oh, hey, how are you? I was just gathering some kava from the back.
Kava. Well, kava is something that I've been drinking for about 7 years now. When I first started drinking kava, I was happy to just have a shell, down it back, enjoy some friends, and hang out. But as I've grown and as I've drank kava, I've found, as many of you will find, that not only is it a spiritual experience, but it's something that brings a lot of community and a lot of history and tradition with it. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and break down what kava is, what it does, and hopefully why you would enjoy drinking it. So, kava is a root from the South Pacific Islands. It's known as the root of a pepper plant. Its Latin name, Piper methysticum, often translates to the mystical pepper. It's known as the mystical pepper because this plant has had its root in Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, and Fijian lore since the beginning of time. It's part of their creation story, it's part of their rituals, from everything from weddings to deaths, and even to having new kings come into. So, one of the cool things about kava is that it acts like a muscle relaxant. Now when I say that, I don't mean it's a muscle relaxant, but what I mean is that kava is going to help to slow down sodium channels and calcium channels. So not only are your muscles not twitching as fast, but you're given more time to allow them to relax. On top of that, it's known for its anti-anxiety, anti-insomnia, anti-depression, antifungal, and antibacterial effects. Now I know that sounds like a lot of stuff, and as with everything good, there's a downside. Oftentimes, kava has a very rooty taste. Like we mentioned before, it is just the root of a pepper plant. You see, kava's roots often are just ground. These come from the actual root of this pepper plant, and after they're harvested, they're mixed, soaked, and pressed in water to give you a very earthy mixture, as you can clearly see here. So why would you want to drink kava? Well, aside from all the benefits that we stated already, one of the biggest benefits and one of the biggest things that you'll notice almost immediately with kava is a sense of community. Oftentimes, shells, which are drank in a variety of containers, usually containing about 4 ounces of liquid kava, are drank as a big community event, meaning everyone takes their shell, they raise it in the air, and they'll say, "Bula." Now, Bula may sound like a random thing that Rick Ross might scream out at the end of a music video, but what it actually means has a lot more depth. Kava has a lot of phrases associated with it. Bula being the most notable and the most used in everyday life. It means long life and good health, hello, goodbye, well wishes. It's like a widely accepted Pacific Islanders hello. So every time we do a shell, we like to bless one another. Not only so we can get past the awful taste, but so that we know we're part of a strong, nourished community. So, your first time here, and at most kava bars throughout North America, you get your first shell of kava on the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour you up, we'll go through a ritual, and we'll do a shell. How about that? So, oftentimes, traditionally, kava is prepared and then put into a bowl that is chilled. It's served with a ladle or with a traditional wooden spoon, and in the islands, this will be made for up to 5 to 10 people in a group at a time. What we do here is a little bit different. In an effort to keep up in more modern times, we've evolved over to a dispensing container that allows us to pump to get all the grit off the bottom, and allows us to pour easily for shells across the bar. Gentlemen?
Thank you.
So, as with ritual, what we're going to do is take our shells, raise it in the air, shells up! We're going to go ahead and prep everyone for it, loud and proud. Bula!
Bula!
And down it back like a shot. Now, because of its taste, it's easier to do it all as a shot. It's not like a Coca-Cola where you're going to spend 30 minutes sipping on it, enjoying it, relishing the flavor in the hot afternoon. You want to get it down as quickly as possible. And while it is technically an option to sweeten it, flavor it, and mix it with a wide variety of other flavorings, that's not the most traditional way. Now, when it comes to flavoring kava, oftentimes you're going to want to use a fattier base. That fattier base is going to allow the kava lactones, the main alkaloid in kava, to bind, pair, and stick with the fat. Whether it's a milkshake, a cheesy burger, or your favorite piece of pizza. Kava is going to bind with that fat, creating a stronger effect, not only for the mental aspects, but the physical. With that, you now understand a rough idea of why you might drink what is essentially mud. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
All right.